Patronage is a term that we don't hear used very often today, but it's actually a very useful and relevant concept. What is patronage? At its core, it's very simple. It's a kind of relationship in which you have a patron and a client. The patron provides favors to the client, like jobs or awards or even just cash, in exchange for the client's support, especially political allegiance. For example, let's say you have just finished your PhD and your dissertation advisor recommends you for a job at another university that you then get. In exchange for that recommendation, your advisor is going to expect certain things of you. For example, they might expect you to cite them in your future work or to back them up in academic debates that they're a part of. This expectation, this agreement, might never have been made explicit, but nonetheless it's understood by both parties. If you, for example, backed up an opponent of your advisor in an academic debate, they would feel betrayed by you. This kind of relationship is very simple and it's very useful to both parties involved. And so as a result, it's extremely common across times and places. In fact, in ancient Rome, the patron-client relationship was even enshrined in law. People were legally designated as clients and patrons, and this entailed particular legal obligations to each other. For example, patrons were obligated to provide representation for their clients in the Roman courts. These patronage relationships don't exist in isolation. A particular person can be in many different patronage relationships, and they can and often do fulfill both roles. You can have a patron who has multiple clients, who themselves have multiple clients, and you can have two patrons who are allied, who share clients. The result of all this is an interlocking web of patronage, which you can call a patronage network. These patronage networks can be very powerful social and political entities. They can take control of institutions, and they can have a tremendous influence through this means on their society. People often think of political parties as unified by shared ideology. And although shared ideology is an important part of their functioning, what's actually more fundamental usually is patronage. The particular politician is very often motivated much more by personal interests than by ideological commitments. Our society, on some level, clearly knows this. We see it in the trope of the cynical politician who doesn't really believe anything that they're saying, but is really just in it for the fame or the prestige or the money that the position they're after entails. This fact is also illustrated by recent changes in the Republican Party. After the election of Donald Trump, many Republicans who previously were stridently anti-Trump and stridently opposed to the positions that he advocated quickly changed their tune out of an expectation of patronage from his administration. It's not surprising then that when we look at the origins of modern political parties in 18th century Britain and the Whigs and the Tories, that we find that they were understood at that time as being primarily unified by personal interest rather than overarching political views. Robert Walpole, a Whig who is widely considered to have been the first Prime Minister of Britain, rode to power at the head of an immense and dominating patronage network. His clients often didn't care or even understand the broader political issues that they were embroiled in, but they did understand that if they did what Robert and his subordinates wanted, they would be repaid. Patronage networks are all around us. I mentioned the example of academia and of political parties, but similar things could be said of all the major institutions of our society. As a result, understanding the nature of patronage and the particular patronage networks that are at work around us is absolutely crucial to understanding our society, to understanding the behavior of its core institutions and how they affect all of our lives. I'm Zack Lerangis. I work at Bismarck Analysis. Thank you for watching this video and please subscribe.